Learn about an amazing small business and the folks who helped get it started. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on National Small Business Week, and we're visiting with Dick Collett, a counselor with SCORE's Grand Strand Chapter 381. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning to help kick off the week. What an exciting week.
Oh, it is that. It is that.
Truly.
For the SBA.
And this is the 50th anniversary of the Small Business Association.
That is
Administration.
Correct. That's the SBA, the Small Business Administration, formed in Washington, D.C.
This is their 50th year. Now, how long has SCORE been around, Dick?
Almost 40 years.
Okay, great. So just a decade after the founding of the Small Business Administration.
They got started, and then they decided they wanted us to be part of it.
How long have they been having Small Business Weeks?
As far as I know, they've been going on for many years. This is not the first one. We've celebrated it with some of our counselors up in Columbia when they've had other awards being given.
Dick, where are you from originally?
Well, I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, great. So you're a Palmetto State boy.
More or less. But I never learned how to speak South Carolina.
That's a big move. When did you move to the Strand, and what attracted you to the area?
Having grown up here, I made a circle around the United States in my business life and decided that the best place to finish up the rest of my life would be where I used to enjoy myself so much. And that was 10 years ago. We moved in.
You've been here 10 years now.
Yes.
Share with the viewers a little bit about your business background.
Well, I worked both in defense and with architectural engineering firms. Actually, helped build Walt Disney World from an engineering perspective.
Wow.
And was involved with the space program for a number of years at Cape Kennedy, and finished with 22 years at Ford Motor Company in Dearborn, Michigan, before making the long haul 900 miles south.
Well, now those are some sizable businesses you were involved in. Was the prompting to get involved with SCORE to help small businesses out? Was that something that was it because you'd been active in large groups?
I had heard about organizations where people that were retired helped businesses, and I looked around and met someone who was with SCORE. He told me about it, invited me to a meeting, and I was hooked.
Was that not long after you'd arrived, Dick?
About 2 years.
Okay, good. So you've been involved with SCORE almost 8 years. And what prompted you to become involved as a counselor? When you get involved, do you get involved as a counselor?
Primarily. We do welcome people that can work some of our administrative duties, but we would like everyone to have the qualifications to be a counselor.
Dick, when we think about, obviously, such an exciting week, Small Business Week, and to think all week to get a heck of a lot of folks in, even wrapping up the week with the Long Bay Symphony, which, albeit a not-for-profit group, is very much a small business. Who's eligible to receive help from SCORE?
Basically, anyone that wants our involvement in their small business life. We give confidential, no-cost counseling, and we're happy to work with primarily companies that want to be profitable, but we do work with nonprofit organizations also.
Those are such key words. Counseling is without charge and confidential.
That's right.
I'm sure there's a fear factor early on for a small business owner, particularly someone who's trying to set up a business, thinking someone else may run off with this great idea they've come up with. So knowing that someone's A, going to help them out, B, that it's without charge, but even more importantly, that it's confidential is really important.
Yes. And we maintain that confidentiality, and we sign a paper to that effect.
Tell us about the Small Business Administration and SCORE's association with the administration, Dick.
Well, SCORE basically helps people work with the SBA from a financial situation. The SBA has no money to give to people. We have no money to give to people. So the SBA insures loans through commercial lending institutions. And we help the clients get ready to go to those commercial lending institutions with their business plan. And they, the loan officers, decide whether they need to have an SBA insured loan or can do it without the SBA's help. It's more expensive to do it with the insurance from the SBA. So we also, because they have events throughout the years, we try to participate with some of our more successful clients in those events.
Very important help. Obviously, this is such a big week. Does the Grand Strand SCORE chapter have special events planned for this Small Business Week?
Oh, we do. We've been gearing up for this for quite a while. Basically, the first thing we're doing is bringing some of our successful clients in to talk to you so your viewers can hear their stories and how SCORE helped them. Secondly, we have put a display down at Inlet Square Mall, a SCORE display right in the hub of the mall, and so anybody that's walking through the mall can get the forms they need to get SCORE help. And then on Thursday nights from 5 to 8, they can meet a SCORE counselor and get counseling on the spot. But it will be confidential.
That's this Thursday from 5 to 8.
That's right.
Fantastic. And now, that's not normal in the sphere of SCORE.
No, we are in a creation mode right there. The other things we're doing is putting on a small business workshop, which is being hosted by the Myrtle Beach JCs. This small business workshop, we kick it off the 23rd of this month, and there will be 6 sessions minimum. They'll be done monthly here in Myrtle Beach at the Sandy Cooper offices on Oak Street. We have a couple of subjects already pinpointed. I could tell your viewers about them.
Yeah, please tell us about some of the topics.
The first one is budgeting, its importance in your business life. And we find in talking to many of our clients that they do not even keep a budget at home.
Sure.
They don't try to balance their income and their expenses. So we help them go through that process of understanding how to do that, and then how that relates to a business. If you can't balance a budget at home, you're going to have a very difficult time balancing a budget in a business. So we help them understand the income statement and what has to be done to get themselves in a position that a lending institution will entertain their request for a loan. So
how vital, Dick. That is huge, because there's so many folks that are in a position they just know they got a great idea, we got to get out and get it going, but actually making sure the financing will be made available, i.e. that they've budgeted well and know what to do with their income statement.
Yes. And after we finally get through that series, we will go into my business plan. Who is my company? What is its niche? That will be in November, and at the same location, 6:30 on a Tuesday night, and it's all being shown in the newspaper. There are ads going out right now in every local newspaper, public PR releases, so people will be able to pick that up, make a phone call to register. The niche of a company is very important. There's a tremendous amount of people that have restaurants that do the same thing. So if you can come up with a business that has a special appeal, that there's very little competition, your chances of being successful are much greater. So the series will grow around what it takes to have a successful business plan.
Those are some great topics. I'm sure that'll be well attended. Will anybody be able to attend these programs, Dick?
They sure will. All they have to do is call our office or the number that's in the ad, which is one of the JC's hosts and register. And it's a $10 cost for each session. And if the husband and wife come, it's only $10 for both of them.
Right, right. How else will the Grand Strand SCORE Chapter 381 commemorate National Small Business Week?
Well, we are doing a series of TV interviews, such as the one with you,
right,
with Time Warner, Diane Stokes,
sure,
and also on River Talk, which comes through Fox 43. So people will be able to see that. Another thing we're doing is we've got a major retailer that we're attempting to put on a presentation during Small Business Week at their facility here in Myrtle Beach. If it's approved, that may go nationwide. So we're looking at every way that we can get the information out to the people that we're here to service their needs in running or starting a small business.
Fantastic, Dick. Well, obviously, since it's National Small Business Week, we're focusing on one of your clients, A. Bradley Needle Arts. When did you first meet Ashley Bradley?
Well, I've known Ashley for a number of years because I sing for her dad, Brown Bradley, in the First Presbyterian Church Choir.
I've seen you there.
And so she came to us knowing we were available with her dad and her mother, Mary, and asked if we could help her start up her needle arts business, which you will hear from her. And she's now, and I guess that's about 2.5 years.
Is that right? Great.
That's right.
Now, were you assigned to Ashley?
Yes, I was.
Great, great. How does that work for other small businesses? Of course, tomorrow we'll hear a little bit about another small business client. And we speak of these as clients of SCORE. But is the process very similar all the time? Someone's assigned, a counselor is assigned to a business owner or a potential business owner?
There's always one or two clients assigned to someone who fills out a request for counseling form. That can be done on our website, and we send directly to our office. It can be done on a hard copy, which is available at most banks in the area, as well as libraries. So once they complete that form, it comes to our office, and then the decision is made as to who would best work with these clients from a location standpoint, from background, and from overload, because we need more counselors with the number of clients that we're getting these days. And so it's getting to be quite a chore.
With all the entrepreneurs on the Strand, I'm sure you're getting a heck of a lot of calls or emails or otherwise about getting involved. We got about a minute, Dick. How has SCORE helped Ashley throughout the process of building her small business?
Well, the need for everyone is to develop a business plan. And we helped her understand the elements of a business plan and go through the process of fulfilling those elements. So we met several times, came up with what we thought was workable. One of our suggestions that she get her a website. She has recently done, and it is really paying off for her. So we keep talking over the months, to make sure that everything is working well.
Great. Lastly, Dick, do clients return for additional help oftentimes as their business grows?
We have some that have come back to us over the last 3 or 4 years. So we never stop or kick a client out. Once they don't need us anymore, that's fine. But we're always available. Should they decide a year later that they want more information or more help, we're there. All it takes is another request for counseling.
You heard him say it. We're there. All it takes is a business owner to ask for a little more help, even after they get rolling. He's been here 10 years. 2 years after he arrived, he found out about SCORE, and he's been helping small businesses since he got here. Dick, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Greg, I'm glad to take this opportunity to tell your viewers about SCORE's availability, and I'm glad they're going to get to hear from the horse's mouth how they have become successful.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to Ashley Bradley coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on the National Small Business Week, and we're visiting with Ashley Bradley, the co-owner of A. Bradley Needle Arts. Good morning, Ashley.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming in. It's so exciting to think about, and of course we've got a great array of stuff, which we'll see a little later as we go on. And scores, what a big week.
Oh yeah, they helped me tremendously get my business off the ground. So we're indebted to them.
You could see Dick's face glowing as he talked about helping. I guess it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years March. We've been open, and it's just been a wonderful success.
How exciting. Yeah. What's that like to say I'm a business owner?
It's neat.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of hard work.
Right.
But it's fun. And if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. So.
Yeah. Ashley, that's a big deal. And I said you're the co-owner?
Right.
Who
my
else?
mom, Mary Bradley, also runs the shop with me. And, of course, my dad is the money bag. So.
Oh, wow. You got to have a money bag.
Yeah. So that's good.
We learned a lot about your dad last Monday on Carolina People. He came in to talk about the 19th season of the FBC concerts.
Right.
Which is amazing to have a father-daughter combo. We'll probably see your brother next week.
Probably.
Yeah, and then maybe Mary.
Yeah.
Well, where are you from originally, Ashley?
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and then we moved when I was about 7 to Myrtle Beach. So I've been here about 20 years.
Okay, and for folks
19.
19, right. For folks who may not have caught your father when he was in last Monday, is your family here in the area?
Oh, yes. They all live here.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, mom, and my brother.
Great.
So we're all here.
We heard your brother plays up the House of Blues.
Right. He's the keyboard player for the house band there.
How exciting. How exciting. What did you study in school?
Well, I studied art. I wanted to be a logo designer when I first went into school, but then I just got sick of that, and I was going for my Associate of Arts degree, and I got tired of that, and I was just didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something with art, but didn't know how to go about it, make a living painting, so that's kind of tough. And then I just fell into the needlepoint industry, and that's how it went from there.
Now, look, I just fell into the needlepoint industry. How did you become interested in the needlepoint in the first place?
Well, when I was little, my mom taught me to knit, and I did that. And then I got into my teens, and that wasn't so cool to do, so that went out. And then when I was about 18, I worked in a needlepoint shop for about 5 years, and pretty much got really good on the spot training, and also learned how not to run a business. So that was a big thing, because there are a lot of things that I didn't really agree with that were going on, and that's what spurred me on to open my own shop.
Now, you were talking about logo design and some other things. Did you have a favorite art medium prior to this interest in needlepoint?
Probably watercolor. I also did a lot of watercolor and took lots of classes in that, but this is where it ended, and I'm glad, because this is really what I like to do.
Yes, very exciting. You're there at the Hidden Village.
Right. It's on Restaurant Row.
Restaurant Row, absolutely. Can you explain how your artwork transfers to a needlepoint canvas?
Sure. It's all based on, our needlepoint canvas is a cotton blend fabric, and I use acrylic paints. I paint the pattern on, and it's a process called stitch painting, so the customer knows exactly where to put the threads and when they stitch, and they can make great things like little pillows and Christmas ornaments. This is a little sweater.
Oh, that's cute.
And they're just all pillows. You can make pillows. You can make rugs. This is a pillow that I designed and stitched myself.
Yes. Now, you do not sell the pillow.
No, we don't sell the finished products. We just sell the canvases, and we have about 45 varieties of threads and fibers for them to choose from, and about 120 designers now.
Well, that, for a simpleton like myself, that makes your customer base pretty difficult. I mean, I would have trouble going into a store and saying, hey, I want that. I'm going to do something with it and turn it into a pillow.
Right.
I mean, that's a big deal.
It is, and it's costly. It's not a cheap hobby. But it's very therapeutic, and I think that's has a lot to do with it. People really love to stitch. It's relaxing, and It's good eye and hand control.
We think of therapeutic businesses like massage,
Right.
Massage therapy or other things, but I'm sure that's very cathartic, very cleansing to do that. How did SCORE, or what prompted you to contact SCORE for help in organizing the business, Ashley?
Well, when we finally decided that we wanted to open our own shop, a friend of ours, Diane Stokes, gave us Dick Collett's name and said that he was involved with SCORE. And we just contacted them and had a few meetings, and they set us up.
What was the first thing they did with you?
They talked about us. We had another counselor named Catherine Lowry, and she and Dick were both talking to us as far as starting up a business plan and our financial plan and just getting all of that together, and our income projection for a few years, which was scary trying to figure that out, but it was very well worth it. And I refer to it still today.
When you think about those aspects, I know you mentioned early that Dad or your father was active on a financing side at some level, but there was still the machination. You still had to go through the procedures of how you would set up your business plan to approach a bank if you were doing that.
Right. Yeah, it was very well worth it to have them in our corner helping us out.
And if someone was to meet you for the first time and they knew you'd had some involvement with SCORE, if they asked you, how did SCORE help you? And to summarize it in 30 seconds.
Oh, gosh. They just helped us get organized and get all of our ducks in a row and focus on, what it is that we want to sell, and just helped us in that area a lot.
For viewers in the PD or in southeastern North Carolina who may not know where Hidden Village is or even Restaurant Row, the shop's located there on the bypass as you're heading south from North Myrtle Beach. Right.
It's right coming off of the new highway. I believe it's 22. It's right on Restaurant Row, which is the old part of Myrtle Beach. And it's Hidden Village. It's about 99th Avenue, 9902 North Kings Highway.
How did you select that site?
I've always loved this house because I just associate Needlepoint with homey and, and it's a big white colonial house right on the highway. And a good friend of mine used to have a children's shop there, so it means a lot to me to be in that space.
Ashley, when someone comes to comes to the shop, what might they be looking for? Do they know they're probably looking for a pattern or supplies, or are they looking for the finished piece oftentimes?
Most of the people know that needlepoint is just you're going to do your own. It's not to buy already finished. So they'll come in and either ask for a specific pattern, or probably Christmas ornaments are the most popular that people like to do. And then I custom paint, so whatever we don't have, I paint it for them. Animals, anything.
Great. Wow. 2.5 years the business has been underway. You'll be celebrating 3 years in March. Are you happy with the process?
Very happy. It's been a huge success, and sales are just going up and up.
Wow.
We're in the black.
Can we invest?
The black a year. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, wow. How exciting. And you have a website now.
Right. It's www.abradleyneedlearts.com, and you can shop online now. We've got about 1,200 canvases you can pick from, and we will set you up with the threads and everything, and we ship all over the world.
And this has been successful in terms of sales?
Very successful. Oh, yeah.
Holy.
I think last time I checked, there were 36,000 visitors in this past year, so that's pretty good for a needlepoint site.
It's amazing. How do they find out about you?
Phone book is probably the biggest way of advertising for us, and the internet. A lot of them are now internet savvy, so that's been good.
We've got 2 minutes, Ashley. How many of those designs are yours?
I have a line now of over 530 designs, but as far as what you can see on the internet, there are about 120 that you can purchase online.
What do you think has contributed to the growth and success of A. Bradley Needle Arts?
Probably just passion for what I love to do, and that we're just having so much fun, and I get to be with my mom every day.
Oh, wow. How cool.
Yeah, she's my best friend. So.
That's wonderful. What do you think's next, Ashley? Have you found some new avenues for growing the business?
Well, we've contacted Martha Stewart, so we're going to see about that. Maybe be the next little Martha in needlepoint. I don't know. But, just keep painting and keep selling, and maybe one day go into the wholesale business with my line, but I'm not sure yet. it's been too good to just have in the shop, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about SCORE's interaction, have you contacted them any more over the last 2.5 years since you took off, or was it just at the get-go?
Yeah, at the get-go, but I stay in contact with Dick a lot, so he still asks. He comes in and sees the shop occasionally with his wife, and they keep in touch to see how we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to stay in touch.
Mm-hmm. I know you said
advice.
it's wonderful working with your mother. Is that what you like best about what you're doing?
Probably, because I don't have to answer to anybody, because it's just me and her. So it's fun, and you don't have to answer to anyone.
Working with her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Learning organizational skills early on from SCORE, getting the business started. National Small Business Week is all about folks like A. Bradley Needle Arts. Ashley, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Dick Collett of SCORE and Ashley Bradley of A. Bradley Needle Arts for helping kick off National Small Business Week and making today's Carolina People such a great success.